What's happening, guys? Happy Wednesday, and may the 4th be with you. Welcome back to Rule of Two Review, and today is a perfect Star Wars day. It is May the 4th. It's a wonderful time where everyone just randomly celebrates the awesomeness that is Star Wars. Of course, it's a great time to be the Star Wars fan because we are right here at the beginning of a brand new Star Wars trilogy, the third Star Wars trilogy that we never thought we would actually get, and yet here we are right in the middle of it. It's so fantastic. And because of this, EA, Electronic Arts, has actually announced some brand new Star Wars games. So it should be noted that Electronic Arts hasn't given us any really fine details, but they did announce something pretty spectacular. They announced that they're going to be working with Respawn Entertainment on a brand new Star Wars game. And there's also some other really awesome information included in this news and press release that they had today. Really fantastic news. Of course, they're working with Respawn because Respawn helped them make Titanfall and is obviously probably helping them with Titanfall 2 and all that good stuff. So here's what they said when they announced working with Respawn and what they're doing with other Star Wars projects. So here's the quote. Today, I'm thrilled to be able to announce that EA and the talented team at Respawn Entertainment have expanded our relationship to include the development of an all-new third-person action-adventure game set in the Star Wars universe. They join our other great studios, Visceral Games, DICE, Capital Games, BioWare, Motive, and more, who are all currently working on Star Wars projects. So there you have it. There's a lot going on with EA and Star Wars, and it's the exact thing I've been dreaming of. It's exactly what I wanted. I'm so shocked that out of nowhere, even though, yes, it's May the 4th, so obviously this is why they did this, but other than that, this is out of nowhere that they announce a lot of things happening with Star Wars. And as you've heard me talk about on a few videos since Battlefront came out, and yes, I'm a fan of Battlefront, even though I acknowledge some of the faults and missing content, I've talked so many times about how EA is the studio that is lucky enough and blessed to have 10 years of video game licensing rights with the Star Wars franchise from Lucasfilm. And I think that, some people have been mad about that. A lot of people don't like EA. EA does a lot of things that I hate, but ultimately I still recognize them as a good games developer. They have some shitty practices, but they make good looking games, good playing games. Every once in a while they have some really cool, unique ideas, like look at Dead Space and stuff like that. So overall, when I heard that, I was like, okay, I think Electronic Arts, if they do the right things, then they could be great for Star Wars for a couple of years. They've had BioWare working on the Old Republic stuff forever, and it's awesome. Like, the Old Republic games are great. KOTOR, and I don't even remember if when the first KOTOR came out in 2003, if EA and BioWare were the same company, or if that happened afterwards. But regardless, since then, they've been the same entity, and they've made some amazing Star Wars games set in that Old Republic universe. So overall, I think EA is probably a fine company to do this, provided they start making the right decisions and the right games. Battlefront was an okay starting point, but you know me, I've wanted much more. I've wanted not just multiplayer stuff, not stuff just set in one era, the original trilogy era. I want a lot of different games spanning several genres and spanning all three trilogies and maybe even branching back into Old Republic in different time periods, but don't forget to focus around like the Skywalker story. I really want Skywalker story-centric stuff, so I'm hoping that that's what's going to be happening here. Specifically with this announcement about working with Respawn and a third-person action game, I want to hope that this is 1313 Resurrected, and I will stand by this throughout this entire video until the end of time. I really do believe that 1313 is coming back in some way, shape, or form. Months ago, I also made a video discussing when Kathleen Kennedy came out with a couple of quotes and discussed how they're working on resurrecting the 100 scripts that George Lucas wrote for the live-action Star Wars TV show. She said there's great stuff there. And she also mentioned by name Star Wars 1313 and that it was a great project that they want to continue working on. So, if Kathleen Kennedy, the head of Lucasfilm, granted this power from George Lucas himself, if she says Star Wars 1313 is interesting to her and they want to revisit it, you better goddamn believe they are going to revisit 1313. So fantastically excited. So yes, it's possible that this is going to be 1313. By the way, 1313 refers to a district on the planet of Coruscant, which is the Republic capital that we were introduced to and saw in the prequel trilogy. And it's called 1313. This is just a Star Wars fun fact, by the way, because it's May the 4th. It's called 1313 because it is 1,313 levels of city away from the core of the planet. Because it's basically the core of the planet, and then it's straight, city and buildings up all the way to the surface around the outside of the planet. And it's like over 4,000 or 5,000 levels total. 1313 is a district way below the surface, and it's, 1,313 levels away. So anyway, that's where that comes from. So what are we at here? So I'm getting all excited and distracted. Respawn are working on a third-person action game. I think that it's possible that they are the team who's been granted 1313. And that would be great because I think Respawn really showed themselves with Titanfall. I like Titanfall a lot. I believe Titanfall 2 is going to be so much better. So I'm all about them working on something like this, and I love that they're going to be working on a Star Wars game. I'd love them to do 1313. But of course, the problem is when you think about Respawn, you think, oh, well, they're the Call of Duty guys, and then they made a game just like Call of Duty and Titanfall. So, and then, the first Star Wars game we've seen so far is Battlefront, which is like a Call of Duty in the Star Wars universe. So are they just doing another game like that? It's possible, but since it's third person, is it going to be like a Gears of War type of thing? Maybe. In fact, that's probably pretty likely. But I don't want to discount the fact that they might be the ones hired to work on 1313 and bring it back. But what's also great about this news is, again, I listed off all those teams that they confirmed outright in this statement. What are the other great studios? Visceral Games, DICE, Capital Games, BioWare, Motive, and more, who are all currently working on Star Wars projects. Visceral Games, I believe, is supposed to be the team they're most known for. Dead Space, and Amy Hennig, when she left Naughty Dog and came over to EA, she was basically confirmed that she's working with Visceral Games, and they were the ones, I think, who were initially working on Star Wars 1313. Or, I'm sorry, they were the ones brought over to work on it before it then got canceled. So it kind of makes the most sense for them to be the ones resurrecting 1313. I would prefer for them to be the ones resurrecting 1313, but I'd still be okay with Respawn or really any team. As long as I know that game's coming back, that would just be fantastic. So, they confirmed Visceral Games. DICE, obviously, just working on more Battlefront stuff. I don't know who Capital Games are, but that's cool. I don't know who Motive is, but that's cool. If they're working on Star Wars stuff, great. BioWare, they either bring up BioWare because they're always still, making small content updates for the Old Republic MMO, or maybe, just maybe, they're working on something else new that's a new project that isn't the Old Republic, and that gets me pumped. So what am I hoping from all of this? Well, I'm just hoping that we have a couple of Star Wars games that are going to be announced soon. It's good to know that there are new Star Wars games coming, and several. They have, 6 studios that are listed by name here, all working on Star Wars projects? I mean, does that possibly mean 6 games? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe a couple of teams are working on one title, but it means a few Star Wars games are being created. We have it confirmed that Respawn's game is a third-person game, action-adventure, so hopefully that means it is going to be a story-based, lore-based Star Wars game. I want it to be set in different periods. We've got Battlefront in the original trilogy. You know me, I'm a huge prequel fan, so I'd love some prequel era games to come out. I love some stuff during the Episode 7 sequel era, so there's a lot of stuff for them to pull from. This shows me that EA is being smart. Finally, we have confirmation that they're doing the right things. They understand there's so much we can do with Star Wars. We need to take advantage and do the right things. This is how we make fans happy. We got to do a plethora of things. We have a lot of stuff to pull from. You might as well take advantage of it. So, is 1313 going to come out of all of this? We don't know. I don't know. I do feel very good about it. I would bet your bottom dollar that 1313 will be resurrected. And with this news coming out right now on May 4th, just, a month, 5 weeks or so before E3, and Electronic Arts' EA Play event, which happens the weekend right before E3 begins, I really feel like this is going to be the year for them to announce 1313 and to announce some or all of these Star Wars projects that they're talking about here. It's going to happen, and I'm so excited. It means that the EA Play event is going to be what I hope it was supposed to be, which is show us a bunch of new Star Wars stuff. Obviously, there's other things they'll talk about. They're going to talk about their sports stuff. They're going to show Mass Effect, which I'm extremely excited for as well. Probably some other small things. Probably another Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare thing. That stuff is huge and very popular. So I'm actually now very excited for EA Play because being able to rest easy knowing we're going to get a lot of Star Wars stuff means I can just, enhance my comm and just go into it looking forward to Star Wars stuff and anything else that they're going to be able to show. So it's going to make E3 week very exciting for me as a massive Star Wars fan. And I really hope that we see, Coruscant, yes, 1313 coming back because I love Coruscant. It's my favorite location in the entire Star Wars lore and saga. So anyway, I'm going to just calm my excitement here. Very excited to wake up to this on a May the 4th Wednesday. So freaking badass. EA, thank you so much. It means a lot to me as a nerdy-ass Star Wars fan and a gamer to be able to see that you're going to be doing the right things. And like I said, we were so screwed with Star Wars games last gen. The 7th gen was a huge, massive failure and disappointment on the Star Wars video games front. It was so sad. The 6th gen was great. There was so much stuff. Granted, the 6th gen had the benefit of kind of playing out during the entire prequel trilogy. So the whole world had Star Wars fever again, and new video game licensing rights were going out like crazy because we can make Clone Wars games, we can make movie games, we can make Old Republic games. It was just the time for Star Wars, but now we're in the time for Star Wars again. 10 years later, we have a whole new trilogy happening, and I think that's why all these games are going to be coming. So I'm going to shut up about Star Wars now. I'm just very, very excited. I'm recording this video early in the morning here on Wednesday the 4th, but I'm actually about to leave for work, so I won't be able to edit and post it until very late tonight, unfortunately. So no one's going to be able to enjoy this until tonight and probably tomorrow morning on Thursday when it is no longer May the 4th, but that's okay. Just know I'm sending you those good Force-filled vibes. Super pumped for this news. Electronic Arts, thank you so much. I hope you're making the right games here and you're not going to screw the pooch like you have in the past. So I'm going to hold out hope. Very excited for E3. What do you guys think about this? Do you think this is great news and bodes well for Star Wars games with EA over the next couple of years? Do you think it's maybe not as great as I'm hoping it's going to be? Do you expect to see 1313 or not? Tell me what you guys think. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I'll catch you guys next time on another video. And, of course, may the Force be with you always.